Well, hello there! For this video I want to make a simple thing. I want to make a top 7 characters that can beat Superman. And why a top 7? Because I thought a top 5 was already overrated. I don't want to get too long to make a top 10. And of course I don't like to make a top 6 because I feel that it needs something more to be like some kind of complete video. Not too long and not too short. So 7 is going to be okay. Lots of people think that Superman is one of the most OP characters of all time, that nobody can beat him, absolutely nothing can stay in front of him, and so many people can think that he's completely boring about that. Well, that's from people that never read a comic on their life, and I'm going to prove them wrong because I've been reading comics ever since I was a little boy. I've been a Superman fan ever since I had a really good talk with my grandfather, and he taught me about the Man of Steel. His favorite superhero now became my favorite superhero of all time. And of course, I don't hate Superman because making this. For the contrary, I actually love him even more because I don't care of how many characters can beat Superman, because there are going to be hundreds of characters that can beat Superman in a one-on-one fight. But I'm still going to prefer Superman over all of them. This is just for all the people who always underrate Superman because he's too strong or too weak or many other stuff, but they don't like the character. I'm going to show you that he's not OP, but he's really strong. I'm going to show you with these characters. And of course, I need to focus in one Superman. This is not to all the Supermans because all the Supermans, all the generations are completely different. So I'm going to be focused on the new 52 Superman. A really balanced and complete Superman. He's strong, really good fighter, smart, everything. This Superman was just perfect. I say was because he's not anymore. There is now the Rebirth Superman or something like that. I haven't read Rebirth yet, but let's not waste any time, so let's go to the countdown. Number 7. Dr. Manhattan. Dr. Manhattan is from the classic novel of Watchmen or the Zack Snyder film. Dr. Manhattan, I had to say, the most powerful characters of all time. Let me give you a quick explanation about this character. Dr. Manhattan originally got a really intense accident that really makes him disappear from the face of Earth. But in a couple of times he was reborn in some kind of omnipresent, like a godlike creature that actually can do absolutely everything with just thinking about it. With just moving his hand, absolutely everything can happen. There are actually news stories about that Dr. Manhattan is not as strong as many people think it is, and that might be true, but actually we saw Dr. Manhattan doing absolutely everything that he wanted, creating giant buildings from absolutely zero on the face of Mars. Maybe the news stories of the new Dr. Manhattan might be completely different, but I'm focusing myself on the original Dr. Manhattan from the Watchmen series. If he really needed, if this was a one-on-one fight between Dr. Manhattan and Superman, I'm pretty sure Dr. Manhattan will simply do, and there you go, no more Superman. And of course, if you had something to say about Dr. Manhattan that I don't know, well, please let me know in the comments. But in the meantime, number 6. The ion power of the Green Lantern. This spot doesn't go to only one Green Lantern specifically. It goes to all the Green Lanterns in general who uses the ion power. The ion power is the most powerful being inside the Green Lantern Corps. It's some kind of power of Green Lantern that passes from Green Lantern to Green Lantern to Green Lantern to Green Lantern that are worthy of this power. The first Green Lantern who got this power was Kyle Rayner. He's one of my favorite Green Lanterns of all time, if not actually my favorite of all time. One of my favorite superheroes of all time. This power, what it does, it gives some kind of immensely godlike Green Lantern power. Like, it fully powers, like, I don't know how to explain it in real words. It just gives some kind of OP for a brief moment. It gives you so strong that you can beat absolutely every kind of opponent that you confront. Actually, this power tried to beat once Superboy Prime, one of the most strongest Superman villains of all time. You may remember Superboy Prime, right? He actually got the complete powers and concept from the Superman on Super Age, one of the most stupidly overpowered Supermans of all time. But in the end, Saitama was the second Green Lantern to got the ion power and tried to fight Superboy Prime. He was defeated in the process, but in the end he was the only one who was toe-to-toe to this villain. He got beaten, of course, but I'm trying to mean with this is that not even the real Superman can handle the power of the Ion. So I'm pretty sure that any single Green Lantern, especially the strongest one like Son of Jat or Kyle Reinhardt, who is actually the strongest of all, might be able to beat Superman with the Ion power. I'm pretty sure about that. Number 5. The Mask. The same mask from Jean Carrey is one of the most powerful weapons of all time, and practically one that is completely random and so many points, because there are actually people that cannot hold the power of the mask for so long, or many others that are not worthy of the mask or something like that. The rules of the mask actually changed so many times in the past. For example, there are villains that are trying to use the mask, but for some reason when they put it on their faces, the mask simply rejected them. But other characters from other crossovers, for example Lobo was able to use the power of the mask, and he actually obliterate an entire galaxy with that power. If he was able of doing that one by one, destroying planet after planet after planet after planet with just simple the blink of an eye by using the power of the mask, I'm pretty sure that absolutely everyone, by the power of the imagination that actually is what controls the mask, will be able to beat Superman so easily. Especially because it's some kind of artifact that is magical, also it gives an amazing amount of strength, not to mention that the mask is actually so random that everything goes. I'm pretty sure that at the start Superman can be able to hand the mask for a couple of moments, but if the main point is to one-on-one fight, if the mask is wanting to kill Superman, he will be able to grab kryptonite from absolutely nowhere and boom, there you go. Because that's actually the interesting thing about the power of the mask. It depends on who uses the power. It can be a good guy, it can be a bad guy. In the end, nobody knows. It's a really dangerous power, and too bad that so many reincarnations on the comics, it's been on really wrong hands. Number 4. This is a video game character. Violetta, many people don't agree with me for the fact that Violetta is not as strong as so many people think. But actually Violetta will be able to beat Superman even on the first round, maybe on the second round. Superman might know how to beat Violetta, but I'm talking about one-on-one fight where Superman doesn't know the character, doesn't know who his opponent is going to be. So Violetta having a gigantic arsenal like a whip, guns, swords, and many other stuff, explosives, bazookas, all of them, it's completely magic. She is fast, she is strong, almost as strong as Wonder Woman. She has a gigantic knowledge, and she has an amount of attacks, and not to mention that she can summon gigantic demons from her hair. I'm pretty sure that Superman will be able to beat her in some time in the future, but I'm pretty sure that he will not be able to on the first round. That's why Violetta is on this list. Number 3. Doctor Strange, a very important character from the Marvel Universe, and my list cannot be complete without one. Doctor Strange is actually a pretty cool character and is one of my favorite characters from the Marvel Universe. He's smart, he has an amazing amount of weapons that are completely magical, and also he's an amazing fighter. He is not a fighter in the point of giving punches or kicks. He's an amazing fighter in the form of the art of fight. What do I mean with this? He doesn't need to be strong physically. The strength with his magic is enough. By using the Eye of Agamotto, he will be able to look to the future and know how to beat Superman. He can teleport, he can fly, he is able to hurt Superman in so many ways for the fact of he's completely magical. He has an amazing amount of spells that Superman would not be able to avoid them. And practically he is kind of the same as Dr. Fate. I'm not sure, I've never read before about the story of Superman fighting Dr. Fate, but as I mentioned before, what matters the most is the fact that if these characters are able to beat Superman in the first round, because actually that's what makes a fight fair. If both characters don't know each other, if both characters are destined to fight to death, some kind of gladiator style. That's why Doctor Strange is on the list. Number 2. This one is a really strong one. I haven't read so much about this one, but here it is. Odin. As I said, I haven't read so much about this one. He's a really cool character, I know. He's a really strong one. He was only about one of the few characters who was able to beat Hulk like this. Odin is a character who has years and years of training and experiencing in wars and fighting, he was able to beat an entire army. He was able to beat an entire army of goblins that Thor cannot be able to fight all at once. Let's say for example that Thor is like at the levels of Wonder Woman or Superman. While Thor was trying to beat one by one and he was having some kind of trouble, well, in the end, Odin just came and just simply wiped them all out. If he can do that kind of stuff with just simply thinking, what can be able to do if he fights for real, if he fights to trying to kill Superman? That's why I'm pretty sure that he will be able to beat him, if not kill him in the first round. Because remember, all the armor, all the weapons that he has are completely magical. So I'm pretty sure that if he stabs Superman with his sword or something like that, that will be instant death. And number 1. I really don't like that my tops can be a little bit obvious, but in the end, I really want to put this character here. Number 1, Saitama from One Punch Man. If you haven't read One Punch Man, I really recommend you to go read the manga or watch the anime, whatever you want to do, but it's an amazing series that I really recommend. But Saitama was created meant to be the strongest hero of all time. Is he really as strong as so many people think? He will be able to beat absolutely everyone in just one punch? It doesn't matter who he is, he can make them all explode with just one punch? I don't think so. He's not as strong as so many people think, but I'm pretty sure he will be able to beat Superman, especially if he wants to fight for real. I'm pretty sure that Superman will be able to hold so many punches from Saitama because Superman already got so many kind of stuff that really gave him a lot of trouble. And the fight between the two can be like toe-to-toe. But remember that Saitama, for the people that know about One Punch Man, Saitama actually can get excited when he fights somebody that is at his level. And he gets more and more excited. He becomes actually stronger. And actually he wants to fight even more for real. He even might be able to kill Superman with one of his most strongest punch. It will be like some kind of a fight that it might take a while, but in the end I'm pretty sure that Saitama will be able to beat Superman. But at the same time I have to still thinking about it because One Punch Man, it's far from over. So I really need to know the real strength of Saitama. But of course, that is a story for another time. But in the meantime, Saitama will be able to beat the Man of Steel. Well, and that's it. It was my top 7 of characters that can be able to beat Superman, at least just in the first round. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, rate and subscribe. And of course, I will see you later. Have a nice day. Bye bye.
Vamos, golpea con la fuerza de un dios. Impulsar con el puño hacia adelante. Él lucha hasta que algún día lo puedan detener. Peleame.